Good afternoon or good evening, depending on where you are in the world today. This is James, and you're watching my channel, Watch Your Mouth Reviews, where today I'm here to give you my honest review while trying to watch my mouth. It is not going to happen, but that's okay. We'll live to fight another day. Joining me is my co host, Mrs. Beth. I'll say what's up to her.
Good evening if you're on the East Coast. I think good afternoon if you're on the West Coast. Thank you for having me. Like, share, and subscribe.
Yes, and while you're subscribing to me, please subscribe to Mrs. Best. Any reviews or recaps for reality TV that I do not cover on my channel, it's because we share them alike and we cover it on her channel. Today, we actually are going to be doing 90 Day Fiance before the 90 days and Real House of Rhode Island, I believe. So yes, we'll be on Mrs. Best channel a little bit later to talk about those reality TV shows. She also has Love and Hip Hop Atlanta and Miami. And we have a slew of other shows on her channel as well. You don't want to miss them out because they are good. And we definitely go crazy, especially when I am present. So, with that being said, y'all, we got to talk about Real Housewives of Atlanta. But before we do so, Shani has made it to the chat. Hey, Shani, thank you for being here. We appreciate you. Y'all, this episode was titled Rumors and Raised Eyebrows. So when I tell you this episode got on my nerves, it got on my nerves. So let's get into it, y'all. So we first opened up with Portia. She is meeting up with K. Michelle and Kelly. They are going to this tea and crumpets place. It looks very nice. Um, they're coming here because Portia wanted to, talk to Kelly and kind of, get some handle on their relationship because they're not really in the best of places. And they don't really understand why that is because it seems like they never really got a handle on their relationship from the beginning. And I think realistically, it started when Kelly was questioning her about Simon. I think that that's how it started, and they never were able to come back from that. And I think this is where this will continue because they both were pretty much saying the same thing about each other. So to describe the scene, Portia feels that Kelly, when it comes to her getting closer to Shamia, kind of gave her ass to kiss, like gave Portia her ass to kiss, and then was saying, a lot of different things, particularly one interview on the after show where she said Portia always trying to sleep with somebody's husband. Now, Portia said it doesn't take much to hurt her feelings. So when she heard that, she was like, wow, Kelly, you know, that's a crazy thing to say about me when it comes to you, because you've also slept with a married man. And Kelly said, whoa, 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 wait, what? Wait a minute, who I sleep with? What? Kelly was confused. Kelly was like, wait, not I, not Kelly. I don't see a married man portion. Nah, that ain't me, baby. That ain't my name. My name is Bennett, and I ain't in it. I don't be sleeping with no married man. She said, Portia said, Kelly. So BET weekend, you wasn't sleep with a married man? She said, no, Portia. She said, I got receipts. Kelly said, well, spill them out, Portia. Let's see the receipts. So Portia said that on that weekend trip, she was in the bed with the man, and Kelly was on the phone, and she was talking about Dennis. And the man went back home and said, "Hey, I just banged Kelly and all of this," and went home to his wife. And I looked at Portia and I said, "Huh?" I said, "So Kelly was in the bed, she was on the phone, and she was talking about Dennis. And then this man, after he had sex with Kelly, went home to his wife, put on his clothes, and texted the friend that you were with, Portia, and said that he's banged Kelly." That story sound crazy as fuck. Portia. I don't even like Kelly, y'all. Let me be real with y'all. I do not like Kelly whatsoever. But I was like, that story don't make no fucking sense at all. So one or two things needed to happen for me to believe this story. One, either you needed to name drop the person and show the text messages of when the man said it, or I need a video proof in conference. And when I mean video proof in conference, meaning I need to hear audio, I need to see video, and I need to see the mattress rocking back and forth for me to believe that Kelly was out there actually sleeping with a married man. But that's me. Mrs. Best may feel differently. Mrs. Best, when you heard Portia give her side of the story of accusing Kelly of sleeping with a married man, did you believe Portia or the story that she gave?
No, this is why I'm not the most excited about Portia being back on Housewives of Atlanta. I've been very vocal on that. I think she's overrated as a reality TV star. I really do. In environments like Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip, shows like Stars on Mars, which is not on Bravo, Portia does great. But I think in shows like Housewives, where you actually have to be forthright, you actually have to engage and not deflect. Like, what is her sign?
She's a
Portia.
Cancer. She's
She's
a
a
Cancer.
Cancer.
Hmm.
That explains it. They like dry shade. But she's overrated to me. You are not the receipt. The only receipt would be if you had a video of her sleeping with somebody or not. And it just seemed like Portia wanted to, because Kelly was very vocal about Portia taking somebody's husband. It seemed like Portia just wanted to get the get back because she didn't like the fact that the world agreed with Kelly. Kelly just said what we all been saying. So I feel like Portia's like, see, I'm not the only one that slept with a married man. And that may be true. But even if we did believe this story that Portia has given, it's not helping you, Miss Portia. It fell flat because you were friends with somebody, went to her house, shook hands, and gave dap to her husband just to turn around and marry the man. And now you expect us to feel sorry for you because y'all relationship did not work. Kelly, if she did sleep with a married man, and we were to believe this foolish story that Portia has given, sounds like Kelly didn't know she was sleeping with a married man. I highly doubt this gentleman would have said, I'm married, if he was just meeting her for the first time and sleeping with her at BET weekend. And then Portia said out her mouth that this man ran away after sleeping with Kelly and went and changed his clothes and went back home. So Kelly wouldn't have recognized the man potentially. He'd have changed clothes and did all of this all in one award show night. Like, even if she did, Portia, you're kind of freeing her in the story, making it look like she didn't know the man was married. So what was the point in concocting this big ass lie? I just don't understand it. Scorpios, Tauruses, and Cancers, I tell you, the lies be lying. I don't understand it, but this is what Portia does. So I am not surprised by it, but they better fix it. I do not want to be talking about this when we're on episode 12. I just don't.
I feel like we will. I feel like this is not the end of this.
It
And
better be the end, James Jackson.
child, I don't. I listen. If this
Because
is the
plus
best,
also Kelly is single. I don't agree with sleeping with married people. I think that's wrong. I really do. I don't agree with dating people who aren't fully divorced. However, one thing is also true. Kelly is single legally. She could sleep with and do what she wants. Portia, you were single also at the time that you did what you did, but there's friendships, girl code, all sorts of stuff involved. So I just kind of been looking at Portia like, are we gatekeeping other people's coochie when you've been on this show accusing Candy of doing crazy stuff in basements, telling Candy you want to eat her out until she gets excited. We saw her tripping on Bolo like a thirsty little trollop. Like, she's a roundaway girl, and that's fine. But don't get mad when people call it out if you gonna publicly act like a thought or a 304. And I feel like that's what Portia's doing with Kelly. And I don't like Kelly either, but I'm a side with her in this area.
yeah. And I can't believe Portia got me sided with Kelly with her loud ass widescreen mouth. I cannot believe
Widescreen.
you was about to do this, Portia. Like, for real, Portia. Damn. Like, it could have been anybody else, but why you got me siding with Kelly on this? Because I agree, I side with Kelly. I feel like if he was married, it was unbeknownst to her. That's how I'm gonna feel about that. Hi, Kevin Reynolds. Thank you for being here today. I appreciate you.
Trying to make a one night
Um,
stand sound like an ongoing affair with a married
for
man.
real, because I don't blame Kelly for having a one night stand. I mean, hey, everybody need maintenances, oil changes, and tune ups. That's what is the requirement of a car. We work the same way, so I'm not mad at Kelly for that. But what I'm mad at is Portia. You tried to then out the man's business, and it make her seem like she was an affiliate and knew about it. That's what makes me mad.
Where's the
Um,
receipt?
that's what I'm
You
saying.
did all that talking about you got a receipt. Okay, bitch, pay what you owe. Where is
Right.
it at?
Where is it at? And if it's and then I need a real receipt. As I said, I need to hear audio. I need to see camera footage, and
Because
I need to see.
Portia and her lion ass friends do not count as receipts. This is why we don't like Shamia this season. Another person who was friends with Portia. Because they will say that Portia said something and back her up until they themselves have a problem with her. So and then Portia lies. So anybody that she knows, that's not a valid receipt. Her mouth
Show ain't.
hurt, she's not a valid receipt. Lord.
Showing. Portia, Kevin Reynolds said, Portia speaking on Kelly sleeping with a married man reminded me of the lie told by Phaedra along with Portia from season 9 of Real Housewives of Atlanta. Absolutely. Absolutely. I don't feel like this has Phaedra's name written on it. I feel like I'm gonna actually exonerate Phaedra from this because but it just, yeah, this is stupid to do. How Black all up in K Michelle's DM. I'm not surprised by that. I've heard he's in several people's DMs and along with Drew. So yeah,
He's been in people's DMs that I
yeah,
know, influencers here that I personally know that are big in the Bay Area. He has been in the DMs of. So I'm sure that he gets around.
yeah. I mean, he's young, black, single. He ain't all that
Rich.
cute to me, but that don't
He
matter,
got
man.
money.
That don't matter nowadays. Money cute. So yeah. Didn't she funk Bolo? She never confirmed that. I believe she
It's not
did,
even
and it's
about if
allegedly,
she
yeah,
slept with him or not. I think with the Bolo issue is just the thirst. Like as a
yeah.
woman, you should never show so much thirst for a man. That's just how I feel.
Shani said, "Isn't Kelly a divorced woman now? Why she can't have a one night stand? No, she can definitely have a one night stand. That's why I said I think Portia is trying to go blow by blow, and you can't do that when it comes to picking on someone and trying to accuse them of something they accused you of because there's receipts and proof that you did it. We don't have receipts and proof that she did it. And the receipts and proof that you said you had, you didn't show. So what are we supposed to believe? I need, as I said, and I'll say it again for anybody who did not hear me. I need to hear audio that's Kelly's voice, and her voice is very distinctive. So I'll know it's her. I need to see video proof of her entering the home and entering the bedroom, and I need to see the bed rocking back and forth. I need to damn near see the mattress fall off the damn bed frame for me to
James said he
believe
want
that.
to hear her
I
bark because she's
Yeah,
so loud that when she's sleeping with somebody, I'm sure she don't moan. The bitch is there barking, just howling all in
I'm
somebody's
here.
ear.
I'm telling she hit a G octave. I know she do. So so I'm not
Portia,
even
don't
going.
do this no more.
Yeah, don't do this again,
Don't do
Portia.
this no
This
more,
is
especially if
terrible.
we stuck with you for however many years your contract is. And I used to like Portia at one point on Housewives of Atlanta. I don't think I ever took her seriously on the show, but I did like her because she brought like a certain lightness back in the day to the show. But I just feel like she needs to go back to being light and just living in her true stupidity because this is not working. I am not a single woman. I'm actually married, but I'm gonna defend the single folk. How the fuck are people supposed to know somebody's married before they sit on some dick? I'm sorry. I'm just gonna say it for what it is. Like you can't. I think it's so easy to blame the person who is not married for sleeping with someone who may be married that
Hmm.
people forget sometimes people are not aware. So I don't know what Portia's trying to do, but I just want her to sell some hair.
I don't know what she's doing either because it's very weird and it's not truly becoming of a person who is on reality TV and it is accused of doing this herself and actually has a proof that she did this. But that's neither here nor there. We gonna move on the scene a little bit. Hey JB, thank you for being here. We appreciate you guys. Please subscribe to JB Says What. He also dropped this video for Real Housewives of Atlanta last night. I was in his video. He brought up some real good points. So definitely go ahead and subscribe to JB. Kevin said, I think Portia came at Kelly because of how Kelly called Portia out in front of the women first episode of last season. Oh, yeah, that's exactly why she's mad. And I don't blame her to an extent. But when you are also being accusatory and then you say you have receipts but don't show them and then come up with some old crazy ass story, I can't be on your side when I need to see the proof in the timeline. And I've already explained it. I'm not going to go there again. But K Michelle says that she's going to go ahead and actually leave town and go to Nashville. She actually has she had a country Academy of Country Music for Reese. What is her last name? And oh god, I know her too. I know her music, but I don't know her name. But she's doing an honoree for another country, a black country music singer, which I think is so dope. I will definitely want K Michelle to get into a lane. I want everybody to do what they want to do, especially because she has a degree in yodeling. So I feel like definitely use it, especially when you giving your dedication to getting a degree in something. Definitely do so. And I hate that, country music is, especially the pillars of that, genre is trying to make it hard for Black people to take back what originally was ours. So we clap for Kate Michelle. I think that's very exciting. And Kate Michelle did mention Black being in her DMs. I'm not gonna go over that because, as I said, he's in everybody's DMs. I heard many people say he was in DMs. And Kelly mentions her Nana's Chicken and Waffle, Sandy Spring, the location opening, and she's gonna have a grand opening. And that was pretty much it. Mrs. Best, was there anything you want to cover with K Michelle or Kelly's opening, anything like that before we move on?
No, it's just what do they call it? A nothing scene.
And nothing, it was a nothing see, something we could have had shit basically in the cutting room floor. We didn't even need all this. Y'all could have kept that because we was gonna see Kelly's event anyway. But what you say, Kevin Reynolds? I am the child. Portia wish she had that receipt. Portia wish she could call that out about Kelly. Girl, don't nobody believe that shit. And if anybody really believes Portia, y'all are crazy because I don't believe that story is true to anything else. But the next scene we have, we're gonna go ahead and move it along to. Let me see my notes. Sorry, y'all. Pinky. So we go to Pinky's house. We get more in tune with her life. Her and her husband, they have been married for 5 years. They are both entrepreneurs. So he actually owns a Philly cheesesteak franchise, and she owns a Slutty Vegan. And we get more in depth into her story, which probably explains her bankruptcy. So Pinky just bought back her franchise because she had lost it. And Pinky is about $20 million in debt. And she said that she got new everything, new CEOs, new presidents, new chief executives. She got a new campaign, new trucks, everything. Pinky is trying to rebrand herself and putting back into Slutty Vegan. She said that, she has 3 kids, 5 total, because he had 2 kids prior to her. And their dynamic is interesting. I will say this. I was very off put by, it seems like one is trying to overpower the other. It was very, as I said, their dynamic was really, really weird. But, Pinky and them have a serious conversation about entrepreneurship and how, she is going through a really rough time. She really wants this to work. And, she hates that she had to take this step back, but she feels like she's on the right track. And, she's vying for her husband's supports. And it seems like she has it, but he's very weird because he's on the off chance saying how successful he is and what he does. And it was kind of like, I don't understand this couple. And I was really trying to invest. I kept rewinding the scene and I was like, why are we trying to outdo each other? Like, I was really off put by that. It's like she was trying to say what she was doing, and then he tried to trump her to say what he was doing. And it was like, no, this is not how we're supposed to do this. But nevertheless, I feel like what Pinky's problem is, and it's no shade to her because it is a lifestyle choice to be vegan, and it is something that a lot of people do and have a lot of great health wise. I think the success rate of vegan restaurants is harder because there is only still a small percentage of the world who is vegan. And as far as diet wise, so I think that that's why she's having a hard time. And the vegans that I know personally like to cook their own food because they have a big trust issue with people in restaurants and stuff. So a lot of vegans I know like to cook their own food. So I think that that's another thing that's a hard thing about opening up a restaurant with that kind of dietary need is that it's, people aren't really that trusting of the world. So you just never know. But I'm hoping that even though in today's time she has filed bankruptcy and everything, I'm hoping that, she does overcome everything and it's still the great success how she started out. Mrs. Best, how did you look at Pinky's dynamic with her husband and how do you feel about their both business acumens and their dynamic?
I see a lot of people felt like he was competing with Pinky. I think it's the other way around.
Oh, okay.
I think it's the other way around. He is more successful in his business and he has been in business longer than her. There is a weird dynamic to that marriage. If I am in a marriage with my husband, if my husband ever came to me and was like, I want to do content creation, and he were to like want to do his own thing or give me advice on it, I would probably be like, that's a little strange, but still hear out what he has to say. But if me doing content creation or something, let's say I was monetized and successful in it, it was like, oh, you want to get into this? I think you should do this. That would make sense. It doesn't make sense that they're both in the restaurant industry, but for what I got, Nassim, it doesn't seem like she's willing to take his advice or wants his feedback on her business, which is
Mm-hmm.
crazy because my father is vegan. I grew up vegan because I grew up Muslim. Only been eating meat for about 15 years, and I still go 3 days out of the week where I'm entirely vegan because I just don't care for all meats and dairies. Uh, so a lot of vegan people do cook their own food, yes, but a lot of vegan restaurants that lack success in terms of taste, I feel like they're not consistent. I've tried Slutty Vegan more than once. I've
Mm-hmm.
never been impressed. The food is not that good, in my opinion. And then I've
Mm-hmm.
had vegan food from private chefs. I've had vegan food that I've cooked or that my family has cooked. So I think, in my opinion, Pinky's business be struggling because food ain't that good. But that I digress. That's just my personal opinion. But the dynamic with her husband, it did seem like he was trying to like get her to respect, like, oh, I've been in business more than you. It's like,
Yeah.
you don't have to say that, but I don't feel like he was saying it to compete. They're going through a hard time financially because of her shit. His business is great. He's ringing bells at the New York Stock Exchange. I've seen him on Good Morning America and other stuff. So his business is doing well. Her business is not doing well, which tells me her business practices may not be the greatest, especially when she says she had to change her staff when she lost her business for those 43 days and had to get it back. She said she had to change her staff. So that tells me you're not hiring the right people. So I just feel like her husband and her dynamic is weird, but she gives me alpha female in a way that she's like not able to hear or accept advice from him. And I also agree with my good Aquarius twin, um, Kevin Reynolds, lavender. One of my favorite colors. Smells great, brings peace, but child.
Y'all, I'm sorry. I 100% agree with this
And
comment
then
too.
all
It
them
is,
fucking
yeah.
kids. No shade. I do love children. I'm great with children. Side hustle is daycare. I'm always around some kids. However, comma, y'all niggas is going through bankruptcy. She's having to let go of her business for 43 days, change out her staff, franchise out her, like, the business. The house is being taken because they got so much debt. The creditors don't know what they can and cannot take. And you mean to tell me that y'all are making that many kids back to back to back? Lord,
It's just, yeah.
her
But
mama
it
looks
is,
fat.
yeah, her mama look like, look, y'all ain't
Like
having
she
no
said, y'all
motherfucking,
better not
look,
pop
y'all
out
ain't
another
having no,
fucking
y'all better
kid.
not pop out no goddamn kids. I ain't finna take care of no more motherfucking kids. Like, I know y'all goddamn lie. I know she ain't pregnant because I'm moving the fuck out. If she
That
pregnant,
would be that we would have
I'm
seen her
moving.
mom do like Kid Todd years ago. Goodbye, Kyle. Her mom would have been gone.
Okay, because I would have been gone. That's too many babies. Hi Naya, thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Hey DM Rocks, thank you for being here. Naya said that man seems jealous. I don't think it's jealousy. I think it's what Mrs. Best said. I think because he is successful and she had a lot of success in the beginning stages of there, and he's still successful. I think it's a dynamic where she doesn't want to give up like her being right in the situation of what she should do.
Mm-hmm.
I think that that's
Mm-hmm.
realistically what it is. I do agree with that. I do see that in their dynamic. And it's very, and once again, that never works, y'all. That never works.
If you're gonna
Because
go into a marriage, I think a lot of women like mistake like marriage and submission as like this horrible thing. You can submit and still be successful and independent. And Pinky, especially with knowing she's a Sagittarius, like DM Rock said, Sagittarius women, we just discussed this on a live a couple weeks ago. They're
hmm
very headstrong. It's also a sign that does not like to feel shackled at
yes.
all. And I feel like Pinky is trying to avoid feeling shackled and maintain her independence through motherhood as well as being a business owner. But that's why you got a husband.
I
Like,
feel like also him being non-emotional is something else. I don't think that it's like because that's how he is. I think it's because of something else. And
because he
if
looked
y'all
emotional in all them photos of
right,
his
that's why
business.
I'm
We saw
saying like
emotion. But
Like
then
we
with
saw
his wife, he
emotion
looked
with his
half
wife. He
dead.
looked half like, okay, I'm in this because it's image. She the vegan queen. I'm the Philly cheesesteak king. Yes, we got a power dynamic here. Yes, we got what Atlanta is known for when it comes to
She's
married black couples.
She
So
should
yes,
have sold her business, in my opinion. Like Slutty Vegan is successful now because of the name, but financially, from what I read, because I'm a nerd, y'all, I'll be watching stuff like that. It's not always doing the greatest. I feel like what she should have done or can do is like take her brand and include like a vegan option at his cheesesteak shop or something. Like work with
well, I
him.
know
They
she
seem to be
did.
working against each other. Like if my man had a multi-million-dollar cheesesteak company and I have a multi-billion-dollar vegan food company, and you know that vegan people struggle to find options when they go eat, I wish they would stop going back and forth and whatever the fuck this dynamic is and partner up because they could make hella money.
They really could. Now it makes me wonder: is he vegan as well? Because how does that work with him having a Philly cheesesteak restaurant?
I don't know. My dad's wife is not vegan. They be having separate pot stoves, all types of weird stuff. But
Cause she don't give me the type that would cook me like if for him if he needed like if Thanksgiving's here, I don't see her putting no turkey in no oven. So that's why I'm
mm-mm,
just like, I wonder how that works. I'm curious. Guess what college pick you went to? Did she go to Spelman?
that could be a really good thing or a really bad thing. DM rocks.
I
That kind
thought I thought she said she never mind, that's not what she said. No, I'm thinking of somebody else. Never mind. What college did she go to? DM Rocks. And then yeah. But we hoping that once again they figure it out because to file for bankruptcy to be $20 million in debt, that is once again.
that's a lot of
That's a
debt.
lot of debt. Like I know restaurant owners be in debt. Like y'all, they don't be having to see Kelly, and that's why I said Kelly came on the show and fucked up. She really did. She came on the show and fucked up because to me, I know a lot of restaurant owners. I have several friends here that own restaurants, actually own a chain, and in hella fucking debt, but not that much fucking debt. That's crazy.
The thing is, the
I thought she
restaurant,
went to Spelman. I thought she did.
you have to put out money to make money in
Yep.
certain industries. And in the vegan industry, that's even more expensive than
Yep.
what you would do if you was, just making a Philly cheesesteak where he's just buying chopped cheese and chopped meat and shit for cheap and bread. He don't need to buy nothing too expensive. She gotta find oyster shell, mushrooms, special equipment and tools, special vendors. Like there's a lot that goes into the cost. I feel like that's where she's messing up and she needs to find a way to like let go of slutty vegan to some extent, maybe maintain like some form of ownership, but let it go and
No,
put
I
more onto
probably
the
would have cut my
franchise
losses.
people
Yeah. I
and just
probably would
partner
have cut.
up with your man.
Yeah, I probably would let that shit go, especially if he already got his successful shit. I'd have just partnered up with him and just had like a vegan side of the menu and just do it like
Mm,
that. That's what I would have
it's
did.
smarter.
Yeah, that's what because if he already successful, number 6 in the country of chain restaurants, then why not? Yeah, that doesn't make sense. Okay,
Mm.
so she went to Clark. Okay, well, I mean, it's Atlanta something. So yeah. But we're gonna move it on along. Good luck, Pinky. Hoping you figure it out. The next thing we have is we have Kelly, Shamia, and Angela meet up. They meet up at this little clothing store. Oh no, wait, K Michelle. I'm skipping all over my notes, y'all. K Michelle and Dr. Caston meet up to look at K Michelle's home. I guess they're doing a final walkthrough before they move in. It's a beautiful home. I will say that, K Michelle given this backstory because you guys know she was on Queen's Court with was it Lisa Ray and Delicious? Was she on
Yes,
that
it
season?
was.
Okay, so she was on that show because her and Caston, they have been dating for over a decade, and she said that he just didn't have no pressure for marriage, and she wanted to be married. So she went on Queen's Court, was about to marry somebody else, and then he came to his senses, and they went and got married. They show footage of them at the courthouse, which is, I'm glad she did this because this should show people you don't need no big ass extravagant ass wedding to get married. If you want to get married, take your ass to the courthouse if you can figure out some shit later. But if you really want to be married, that's what you do. Mrs. Best has done it. She's been very vocal about it. I may do it like that because I don't be having time to be throwing no big ass wedding, and I'm not like in, paying for people to eat and shit anyway. So, times is hard. So if I do get married, it'll definitely be a courthouse thing. But she was talking about, how she want chicken coop. She got silky chicken. She says she want a baby. She talks about her son. She said her son is 21. She always wanted a little girl, though. I did see in today's time there is a rumor going around, so I'm gonna say allegedly that her and her son are not on speaking terms, which is very, very sad if that is true. I don't think anybody should, be estranged from their parents, but once again, I can understand because K Michelle was all about her career a lot of that time when she was on Love and Hip Hop and didn't really mention her son much. So we're hoping that in terms that this is just a rumor. K Michelle, don't be coming for me. I'm just seeing what I'm seeing on the blogs that, it was over a car or some shit. Don't come after me because I still love you. I do. I really do. I love you a lot. But Cassie seems like he's cool. He seems like, he don't take her too serious with a lot of the antics that she has and everything. So I really like their dynamic. He's going to be moving to Atlanta to open up a dental practice here because him and his father, so that means generational wealth. They're both dentists, so they have a successful dentist practice in Memphis. So him moving it to Atlanta, it's a good thing. Atlanta could use more medical professionals. So definitely go ahead and move it. So, Mrs. Best, how did you feel about K. Michelle and her husband, Dr. Caston? It's funny seeing them here versus Marriage Boot Camp, but yeah, how did you feel about them?
I mean, if they like it, I love it. I'm just happy we got a housewife on the Real Housewives of Atlanta.
We got a few of them on here.
I just feel like they need to put a clause or something. Like you could come on this show and be divorced and all of that, but only for a certain amount of time. After so long, you got to go. Like you can't be on here as long as people like Kenya was on here just single. Don't do that.
Kid child, Kenya was a power move. I know why they put Kenya on the show, and it worked. It definitely worked. DM Rock said, "You know who else went to Clark Giovanna? You mean Gail? That lady name is Gail. That ain't no damn Giovanna, but whatever."
Did somebody say that at the reunion? She said, "I'm Yolanda. I was that bitch from Clark." I said, "Oh Lord, this lady is drunk." But then when she carried on, sober and in confessional, still saying she was that bitch from Clark, I know all her friends just disowned her.
I would have too. And the thing about it is, I remember distinctively that dinner table scene where her husband was just putting what, and he was kind of fine
Bless
too.
his heart. He
I,
was.
he was fine though. Her husband was fine. I was like, damn, Giovanna, you could pull something like that. Okay. He just put his head down, and just shook it.
If I
Like,
ever don't like somebody that someone in our friend group is dating, James, we should just do that at the table. Just start yelling out our alma maters. Nina, what's that bitch at the University of Arizona? Like what? I'm gonna start doing that. That's gonna be our little code. If I ever do that, meeting somebody's spouse, I don't like them.
I cannot. I cannot. But the
Oh,
next scene we had, oh, let me read these comments real quick. Did I get everybody's comment? Shetty says, say she was that bitch from Atlanta from Clark and stepping while she was in her seat.
right.
It was the I'm Giovanna, that bitch from Clark with her hair stringing all on her face. And all
Like
I
a damn
remember
fool.
all I remember was looking at that gap and I was like, Lord Jesus.
I hope her
Okay.
husband's okay.
Giovanna's husband was visually amazing. Yes, he was. And imagine having a husband that damn fine and you acting a damn fool.
Mm,
Don't make no damn sense.
mm.
Hey, there, here come my other cousin. There she is. I ain't seen you in a minute. Hope you doing well, my love. But so Shamia meets up with Kelly and Angela. They meet up at this little kid store. Kelly over there pushing that damn dog in a damn stroller, and I'm looking at Kelly like, see, this is why we talk about you like we do. This is why we
Mhm,
talk about you like we do. That damn
mhm.
ugly ass dog. I can't. Oh Lord.
And a $300 stroller.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
Kelly.
every time years ago, y'all, I worked for Petco. I worked for them for like all of my 20s. Let me tell you this. Every time people came in to buy them doggy strollers, they looked like Kelly. whether they was colorless or not. They looked like Kelly. It's always somebody with hella plastic surgery, hella short for some reason, or the Karens of Marin County and Walnut Creek. But they always looked like her. Why would
Mm.
you? A dog is supposed to protect me. What the hell is that dog gonna do from a stroller if someone
Yeah.
break into the house?
She's changed to Kelly. You are not Lisa Vanderpump, and that dog is not Jiggy. I'm trying to
Oh,
tell you.
R.I.P.
You would think that that's exactly who she thought that dog was. But anyways, Angela asked Kelly how she's doing, financially, because y'all at this time, Kelly had about a few lawsuits drop on the blogs. That landlord was suing her for this Sandy Spring location. So Kelly confirmed that she owed him about $100,000 because she had to either pay for the renovations or the rent. So she paid him $50,000, and she said that she had to pay for the renovations for the restaurant. She said, "Look, I ain't got it. I got to pay for it. Got to open up this motherfucker. So sorry, I can't do it." Doing the very, ghetto black thing that some color folk do. But that's what she did. And so she said, "Look, I'm in debt, and I'm just trying to get this restaurant open so I can make my money and all this." And I'm just like, "Well, your ass wouldn't be in debt if you would stop splurging and spending like you got $10 million in the bank." I mean, I think I saw a new Range Rover pulling up in the beginning. Why do you have a new Range Rover when you could be putting that extra money from the car payment into these businesses, Kelly? Just saying. Did you really need a new car? What was wrong with that Escalade? But I digress. But she said that she also had met up with Portia and K Michelle. And she said Portia had the nerve to accuse me of sleeping with a married man. And both Angela and Shamia turned their faces and started laughing. It was all like, yeah, she goes, "I was mad about that because I'm not sleeping with no married man. Just because you was over there sleeping with your friend's husband, didn't have the nerve to marry the motherfucker. Now you're gonna try to accuse me of that? Okay, Portia." Angela said, "That's what you called her?" She goes, "No, I probably didn't call her that, but yeah, I wanted to say it." I said, "Kelly, the reason why your ass didn't call her Horsea is because you want to get your ass whooped. Because let's not forget, y'all, Portia about it. If we don't remember, Portia about it. Portia get the swinging and shit. So yeah, you right. You didn't call her no damn Horsea. Your ass ain't stupid. That's one thing I would give you. Your ass ain't stupid. But well, you might be a little bit, but that's neither here nor there. But she said that she finally got Nana's Chicken and Waffles. Sandy Spring is about to open, and she said she invited everybody, so she's hoping that everybody can come and everything. And I'm just like, yeah, okay, Kelly. Mrs. Best, how did you like the scene with Portia, not Portia, oh excuse me, Kelly, Shamia, and Angela? How did you feel, and what did you think about that dynamic of those three? I thought that was odd.
It was weird. I thought it was just me. It was weird. It was extremely weird. I I agree with the comments. Kelly is not dumb. She knows what she's doing. She knew why she was doing it. Um if Angela's there, she knew it would get out.
Mm-hmm.
And so I feel like the purpose of Angela being there was so that she could let Portia know, "Bitch, you thought we was cool, but we ain't. But thank you for a storyline this season." Because she don't want to talk about all them lawsuits.
She really don't. She
That's what
trying to
it's
put
given.
she trying to put them lawsuits behind her, y'all, because it was more than just this unpaid rent. It was also it wasn't American Express, whatever that credit card company that came
It's
out and
not
sued
just
her.
one credit card company. I saw a couple of different ones. The other thing
Hmm.
I do want to add, because this really bothers me, you could screw me over, drain my bank account, and then come after my husband. And I still, if I'm not cool with you, but was cool with you for as long as Shamia and Portia were friends for, I don't like what Shamia's doing. I feel like Shamia and Kelly's friendship is them using each other to get at Portia.
I agree.
And with Kelly, it's like, okay, you came in hot, you're new to the show. It's an easy way to start drama. So I'm not gonna look too much into that. But with Shamia, it's just whack. If someone was a friend and you did care about them at one time, you don't need to be around or involved in every negative conversation about that person. Like she could have walked away, she could have said anything, but instead Shamia does the well, I know Portia, and she does. I just it was a weird dynamic. We don't want the cast producing. I want authentic reality TV. I expect them to be a little bit animated and tell some lies here and there. I expect stuff on the internet sometimes to become relevant on the show, but I don't want them to do this where it's like manufactured messiness. Like if you didn't fuck with Portia when she said what she said about you sleeping with a married man, then you shouldn't have kikied and smiled and acted like it was cool. That scene should have been you reading her for filth and cussing her the fuck out. But instead, you do this extra shit. Now we have Angela dragged in. It just felt disingenuous. But
It did feel just it did absolutely it did. And to me, like I said, she ain't really bad about it anyway, because if she was, she would have cussed Portia the fuck out and then also would have called her the Horsea like she said she did in this scene. And then Portia would have got up, then all you had to do was pick up some of them tea kettles and glasses and start throwing shit. You can cause
yeah,
a diversion. That's all you got to do. Cause
I
I'm
agree
telling you.
with Naya too. Like, I don't think anybody is upset with Kelly's energy toward Portia.
No.
Nobody's upset. But you not gonna say some shit about me that's really some shit about you just because you feel away. But Kelly should not have acted like it was cool. Like if I don't fuck with a bitch, once you offend me, you've offended me, and you're gonna know. And when we think of the Housewives of Atlanta in its glory days and the great seasons, it's not just that everybody there was iconic. It's that when somebody felt the way about some shit, they knew.
Yep.
I mean, y'all remember Cynthia kicking the shit out of Portia on that boat? When
Absolutely.
people
Like,
felt the way they expressed it. Now you
let
don't
me
have
tell
to
you,
do that.
you ain't got to know how to fight, but you better know some power moves or something. And I do think,
Something.
and I also agree with you. I do think Shamia is whack for sitting there in that scene. Like, yeah, you and Portia may not be best friends or even friends at that moment, but y'all were friends for 30 years prior to this show exist, like to y'all existing on TV together. And I feel
Mhm.
like you should at least have some allegiance. Like, at least be like,
It
well, you know
has
what,
to count
Kelly?
for something. 30
Yeah,
years
30
of
years.
friendship.
Like,
Come
that's
on
crazy.
now.
That's crazy.
Now she
Um,
faker than her body. Lord.
Kelly Doll look like it's on its way to the upper. God damn. That ain't funny, but damn.
Yes, it is funny. That dog is tired.
That dog is tired. That dog didn't bark. That dog ain't stuck his tongue out. That I was like, Lord, that dog ain't look. That dog said, "Look, I'm just here." She keep putting this shit in my hair. Yes, I'm just here. Kelly, she's not. Yeah, she's ditzy, absolutely, but she ain't stupid. She knew not to fuck with Portia because she know Portia knock her out one of them big ass titties. So yes, she know.
Yeah, they
Um,
look like they hit like rocks too.
Absolutely, they do.
Things look
Mind
dangerous.
the Kelly was all smoke behind Portia's back, yet faking Portia's face. It's the two face. If Two Face was a person, well, yeah, she got two faces. She do. She got two faces. You can look at her and tell she got two faces. But the problem that I have with Kelly is that you would be vindicated if you'd have told Portia "fuck you" and walked out that restaurant. Because you're not finna play me in the scene, so you can have a moment because you ain't got no fucking storyline. That's how I would have handled it if it were me. But Kelly not about it. Kelly's scared of Portia. So that's why she did what she did.
Mm.
Yeah, Shamia was absolutely whack for that. There's no way I could be sitting there just smiling. And that's what I feel like Portia's problem really is with Shamia. But Portia's not going to say that because it would be petty and stupid. But at the end of the day, I do feel like that's what Portia's problem. Shamia always takes a back seat, never says what's wrong. And when someone else expresses an issue, she just turns around and smiles. Now, one can say, well, James, Portia did the same thing when Phaedra accused her of sleeping with Shamia. I get that. But where Shamia fucked up at is she chose to forgive her and move on. If you chose to forgive somebody and move
You
on, you
don't
can't
get to
bring up
bring it
old
up.
shit.
That's not
Yes,
fair.
that's
That's
not
where
fair.
it becomes in counseling and psychology is something called emotional abuse or emotional manipulation.
Exactly.
It's not fair to let somebody believe that everything is okay when you are secretly spewing inside. That's dishonesty and a lack of integrity.
Exactly. I'm not mad at her energy towards Portia. Ain't no way a husband to hoe gonna call me one. No, I'm not mad at that either. And I feel like it's not. I feel like if there is any truth to it, Kelly didn't know. Whoever she was fucking, she did not know he was married. I really believe that because at the end of the day, Kelly don't strike me as somebody that would sleep with someone else's husband. Like she don't look like she that man hungry like that. But also it just doesn't. Not everybody does that. Like not everybody just goes out and seeks. Or if a man says he's married, not every woman gonna say, "Well, I'm just gonna fuck you anyway. That's all I'm gonna get out of you." So yeah, no woman does that. So come on, yeah. Kelly is faker than her. She sure is. If Portia gave Shamia any type of rhythm right now, she would dump Kelly in a hot second.
Mm.
Shamia is fiending for this friendship. And I think because it's so familiar to her, y'all have to understand 30 years is a long ass time to be friends with somebody. That's a
Mhm.
long ass time. And that's you know the dynamics, you know the bullet holes, you know the stab wounds, you know everything about this person. So yes, it would be familiar, and I wouldn't blame her. I wouldn't blame her if she did it because at the end of the day, that's who you know. That's who got you really your stardom on Real Housewives. So we wouldn't know who Shamia was if Portia didn't bring her on the show. So come on. But yeah, we're gonna move on. The next thing is we have Drew's premiere party. She is in a Tubi movie called Run. It's supposed to be like this sci-fi alien movie. I did find it on Tubi, but I have not watched it yet. I will give it 10 minutes of my time to see what it's given for, and it will go from there. But Angela, Phaedra, and Portia show up, and Portia comes in with her um, new friend Sway, who she's currently dating in today's time. But at this point, this is just Portia's ladies' friend, and everybody is all confused. Like, Harpo, who this woman? Like, what we doing? What Portia? What was this? What happened to old boy from the dinner party? What happened with him and everything? And Portia said that she is dating, and everyone is shocked because now Portia is admitting that she, likes the lady pond. And Portia said, "Well, I never said I didn't like the lady pond. I just wasn't gonna tell you all my business, all this. And so if you ask me, I would just be like, yeah, I've dabbled in it, yeah, sure, but I ain't gonna have nothing serious." And she said that Sway is her first like serious actively dating relationship with a woman. Now, at first I didn't believe Portia, but when I had to replay things back, and I mean replay things back, I guess Portia is right because I mean, once she would know that's her dating life, but then two, I kind of felt like there was somebody in between. I felt like there was somebody in between, but then I was like, no, that probably wasn't Portia. But Sway is beautiful or handsome or however she wants to identify. Nice looking lady. I'm not gonna lie. Buying shots for everybody. So as Portia goes to the bar to go get the shots, Angela's talking about she had met up with Kelly. And Kelly had a lot to say about Portia. She accused Kelly of sleeping with a married man. She called her a Portia, and Portia at one time she goes, "What's going on?" And then she looking at Phaedra's face because Phaedra is dumbfounded. She was like, "That's a lot." And she go, "What happened?" She said, "Oh, I was just telling her that I met up with Shamia and Kelly, and she had said that you accused her sleeping with a married man." And Portia was like, "Oh, so she's telling her business now? Is that what she doing?" And then Angela dropped the bomb and said she called her a Horsea. She goes, "Oh, she called me what? Oh, okay, got it, noted. Okay." You know what? And she goes, and Angela says, "So you gonna go to her event on Friday?" She goes, "Hell no, I ain't going to her event. No, not after this. No, she's fake. I'm not going to her event." And at this point, I don't blame Portia. And let me tell you why I don't blame Portia. I feel like to me, they hugged it out. They talked about it, even though Portia was on bullshit. Kelly in no way informed in that scene made it seem like she had an issue with Portia. Now, it could have been something that she processed and was like, "I'm just going to put this to the side for now and come back to it later." But at the same time, I would expect Kelly to pick up the phone and then have a scene and say, "Portia, look, I had some time to think about this shit. I did not like how you did that. I did not like how you tried to embarrass me on camera. I did not like how you did." Like, if that would have came out of Kelly's mouth, then I would have been 100% fine with Kelly. But the fact that Kelly still had an issue after they hugged it out, no, I don't like that. Mrs. Best, how did you feel about this messy ass scene with Angela, Phaedra, and Portia?
Honestly, I did not care. They got to do better. Give me something more. Please give me something more. Anything with Phaedra on this show, I'm not really too interested in because she lying. And if the lie doesn't come out in that moment, it'll come out at another moment or on the internet.
That's how
Waste
I
of
feel too.
dollars.
Yes. Listen. But They watched the movie with Drew. Drew's only in the movie for 35 minutes. She got a quick little scene. The movie also has Claudia Jordan and Erica Mena and all them. So as I said, I have it on Tubi. I have it in my saved in my watch later thing. I will watch it. I don't know if I'm gonna come to y'all with any reviews because I usually don't do Tubi movies like that. Nothing against a Tubi movie. Hell, a check is a check at the end of the day. And sometimes some of the movies be good. I ain't gonna lie, but I'm not. It ain't the first thing on my streaming, network that I look at. Usually it's Prime or Peacock first, and then we move on to that last. So we did have a scene with Kelly. Kelly is at Nana's Chicken and Waffles. It's the day before, the whole grand opening. And Kelly said that, she's stressed and everything. She tired. She, worried about this restaurant being a success because a lot is riding on her. She's in a lot of debt once again. This is the first business she built since her divorce, so she is trying to make sure that it becomes a success. She also has her parents in Atlanta. They're depending on her financially, which is a huge burden to carry because not only are you in debt, but now you got to take care of extra mouths to feed on top of you being a single mama. Yeah, that would drive anybody fucking crazy. So I empathize with Kelly when it comes to that. But at the same time, is really right now the best time to open a business up when you got all this debt you owe in everybody, with lawsuits and stuff. Is right now the best time to really be opening up another restaurant, Kelly? I guess since you got the platform and the Bravo TV cameras, I guess this is the best time to do it. But I wouldn't have done it. Like personally, I would have waited until I was out the water, at least with some of them credit cards and that landlord. But I also forgot to mention her husband did an interview with Tasha K. We saw that interview. We talked about it. I wasn't going to bring it up, but I remember that being an issue that she said, that he's trying to sing her through the mud and sue the network for mentioning him. So, we don't know where that is in today's time, but hopefully they give us an update soon. Mrs. Best, how did you feel about Kelly, talking about her financial woes and the opening of her new Nana's Chicken and Waffles location, Sandy Spring? Uh-oh, she having a problem with the mute button?
Kelly speaks about stuff, but then she really doesn't speak about stuff, if that makes sense.
It does.
Like she says a lot while not saying anything at all. So I don't know. Kelly, it's unfortunate. I'm wondering, yes, Tasha K is a distasteful, you know, content creator, but there's a lot of them out there. Um, I would like for her to talk about it more, but I feel like Bravo doesn't want her to just because he came after them as well,
Mm-hmm.
you know? But I don't know. Kelly is starting. I wish she didn't come on the show trying to look like she had more than what she really does. I wish she
Yes.
would have been more authentic. I think that would have gone farther. But I also feel like the person she was casted with was also just as plastic and a little bit fake as well. And that just seems to be what people are trying to do when they come on the show more. But I mean, I wish her the best in her situation. Is it this location we saw open, the one that's closed?
Yep. It's this location. Yep, and it's so unfortunate because I want her to be successful, especially because her reviews are really, really good. But the problem is that I think she's biting more than she can chew, and I don't want this for her. I want her because this is actually could put her in the same situation as Pinky later. So I feel like you realistically need to take a scale back, baby steps, wait till all these situations, your divorce, these attorney fees, these lawsuits, wait till everything settles, and then open you a restaurant. Get you a couple Bravo checks a little bit more. So that way you can, have some backing. That's all. DM Rocks, hold on. She said, we still watch shows with Erica Mena in them. I don't watch anything with Erica Mena in them. This will be the first thing I've seen since she left Love and Hip Hop. So yeah, this will be the first thing I see.
Erica Mena is very active on Tubi. I
Mm-hmm.
know that she does stuff with Zeus. I don't subscribe to Zeus. I believe in black excellence, not ignorance. But yeah, I don't know. People still mess with Erica Mena, which is strange, but they do.
But Zeus, I mean, not Zeus. Tubi has all of the Love and Hip Hop rejects on there. The one that ripped the gas money from Erica, the guy that model she was dating, he all up and through Tubi, the one that's on All the Queen's Men. I keep forgetting his name. He fine as hell, but he all up in Tubi. Every Tubi movie, when I go down the list, I'm like, damn, he in every fucking thing. I said they got all the love and hip hop people on here. Damn. Um, but yeah, what you saying, Kevin Reynolds? Oops, sorry for my microphone. DM Rocks. I have a question. Why did production take Angela's fan out of her hand at Kelly's event? Because it was messing with the sound was messing up the microphone. Someone actually clarified that, because sometimes with a fan, when you have it so close, they hear it. You know, they're live streaming it, so they hear the fan and it interrupts the noise, so they can't hear what's going on. I don't know why they didn't ask to take, like, to hand them the fan or tell her to put it away. I don't know why they snatched it from her like that, but it does mess with this her microphone sound. The hawk mic, it
It's not
does.
looking good, Angela. Girl, you better get a quiet motor. I ain't buying no loud ass fan.
Or
That's all.
take you some hormones or something. That's menopause, girl. Take
Yeah,
you
take
some
a damn
hormones.
one a day.
Yeah, like
Support
damn.
yourself through
For real. Why you so
everywhere
hot?
she goes.
She got that damn fan. Why you so hot? Girl,
She was
shit.
telling
Now,
her daughter the
damn.
first episode of the show in the premiere, go ahead inside and bring me my fan. Well, why the fuck would you come outside knowing the house this big without a fan?
Yeah. I think
I
Tasha K
thought
may
that
come
too,
up and
Kevin.
oh yeah, she definitely will. It's only a matter of time. She definitely, and I feel like Tasha messy ass because she's in Atlanta as well. I feel like Tasha go right up to that, Nana's Chicken and Waffles location and knock on the door and shit. Talk about Kelly, come on out. I gotta talk to you. That's what I feel like she gonna do. Because that's Tasha for you. Tasha be doing shit like
Everybody
that.
that go on her shows or like does interviews with her is stupid because she don't care about nobody. She just cares about the content.
Yeah. Oh, I gotta hurry up. I never once watched a Tubi movie or a Zeus show or movie. I don't watch Zeus. I've seen a couple of Tubi movies. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. I've seen a couple of them. I saw the one Tawanda Braxton was in because I needed to see what her acting chops was given, and Mrs. Best was right. That shit was terrible.
I told you I'm
Um,
not mean.
Tubi out here saving lives or just making us laugh. One to two. If that's saving a life, then they're doing a great job. You remember how Son Flo, he kept telling her to turn that fan. But yeah, so the next thing we have is Kelly's actual grand opening. All the ladies are there with the exception of Portia. Portia does send roses telling Kelly we need to talk. And Kelly just took that and was like, oh, okay, you need to show up. I need money. I don't need no damn roses. Roses don't pay no bills. So Kelly takes the microphone, does a little speech, how, the devil is messy and God be blessed and whatever she said. It was cute, Kelly. Okay. But she said that she gonna win, and that's all she care about. She talks with Pinky for a little bit, and Pinky says, despite our past, I'm very proud of you. I did not know I had you on red, so I'm sorry about that. But I love to see black women winning, and I'm so proud of you. And that's what Kelly needed to hear. But then Kelly had to go to work. And I said, you ain't got enough waitresses to pass out the food and shit. Even Shamia put on some gloves and started handing out food. And I was like, okay, Kelly, what is we really doing here? Like, why is Shamia out here passing out food and stuff? Um, this scene consists of Drew and Shamia having, a moment as well. And Shamia's mama was coming to the table and said, hey, y'all better be nice to each other. I'm going to go get my paddle. Y'all better be nice to each other. And I said, oh, Lord. Y'all stop bringing y'all parents to this shit, please, because you know how us recappers are. Everybody can get it, mamas included. Like, please tell them to sit down somewhere. As they're sitting out eating, Pinky doesn't eat meat or any dairy products. She's 100% vegan. So Cynthia took her plate. Cynthia took everybody's plate. Cynthia had 3 plates in front of her. And Drew's like, Cynthia, you got to come off one of them chicken wings. And I guess Kelly's chicken is good. I actually heard that from several people that her chicken wings are really, really good. Um, so Portia calls, or Cynthia calls Portia saying, hey, Portia, where you at? And she goes, oh, I'm not coming, but and so Kelly takes the phone. She goes, hi, Miss Williams. Why aren't you here? And she goes, oh, we'll talk about that later, but I just want to say my congratulations. She goes, oh, okay, thank you, do you and all this, and just was completely shading her over the phone. And she said that, her flowers got thrown away and everything. And I'm just like, oh, Kelly, now you want to be passive aggressive now. Y'all, these two ain't gonna worry me. These two is not gonna worry me. So Everyone's surprised to see that Angela and Phaedra are getting along, and Shamia was kind of just side-eyed everybody, like, "How'd this happen?" And then Shamia said in her confessional, "See, so Phaedra and Angela can make up in private and not have to tell anybody, but when I wanted to, make up with Portia and everything, everyone's like, 'Oh no, y'all got to do that in front of the group.'" She goes, "It's not fair." And I'm looking at Shamia like, that's not what they were doing. Someone give Shamia a clue, please, because that's not what they were doing. If memory serves me correct, and Mrs. Best and I probably don't remember, but we gonna say this. If memory serves me correct, you opened your mouth about some shit you probably shouldn't have said, and then you tried to fight against it. And when it got brought back to the group, and then you try to act like you didn't say it, but you did say it, and then confusing everybody. And all Portia could do was look at you and just shake her head and be like, "Well, here it is." That's what happened. Not no crazy misunderstanding that really could have went away, because we knew Phaedra didn't have no damn tapes of no Hawks game, and I believe Angela that someone approached her talking about she got some hands. I do believe that. So Shamika missed me with that, and then her and Drew have a moment, and then when her and Drew have a moment, her mama come up there talking about, "Oh no, y'all are beautiful black women, and God don't bless no mess and all that." And I was like, "Oh Lord." Y'all get Shabia Mama, please, because I'm not here with this. I'm not here with this Bible thumping. I get that's old Southern, but I'm just not here with it. Beautiful lady, seems very nice and peaceful, but I don't have time for Shamia and her mama. I don't have time for Drew versus Shamia. I don't have time for Shamia hating on Angela and Phaedra making up. If you really wanted to make up with Shamia, Portia, or I mean, if you wanted to make up with Portia, Shamia, you would stop being so stank and just say, "Hey, what it is, I felt this way A through Z, but I miss you and I want you back in my life." It's really that fucking simple. But you want to be hard headed, so that's what you get. But that was pretty much the episode. How did you feel about this last scene with Kelly's event? Oh, I got to say something about Kate Michelle. I almost forgot. But go ahead. How did you feel about this Kelly's Nana's Chicken and Waffles event?
Congrats on the opening. Shamia put a muzzle on your mama. That's really all I have to add. I think it's weird if you left off with someone with them having the impression that things were good with you, and then to suddenly act upset. Yes, it comes off as passive aggressive, but it also proves that scene with her, Angela, and Shamia was so that stuff could get back to Portia. I don't like the way Kelly moves. So yeah, all the moms were there, Naya, but I'm not quite sure why Shamia's mom was there. I feel like Shamia may be ignorantly trying to make Portia jealous by having like, me and Kelly are friends and our friendship is real because my mom's here and her mom's here and I'm helping her serve food. Like, it's all bullshit. That's how I feel.
Yep, that's how I feel too. But the last thing we talk about is K Michelle. So K Michelle did her performance, and then when she had sat down, she had noticed the whole couch was full of liquid. And what we come to understand after she goes to her doctor's appointment is that she actually has an infection, from the plastic surgery she had gotten years ago. So the doctor said that we're going to have to do another surgery, try to remove the infection. And, K Michelle is upset at herself that she really went and did this, because she said she already had an ass before she did the surgery. She don't know why she did this. And her assistant let her know, sometimes we make, crazy decisions. It's just a learning curve. You'll be fine. You'll get through this. But K Michelle really, really took that hard, because, she's been struggling with this for a long time. K Michelle has been on other reality TV shows talking about her surgery. She was on Love and Hip Hop, literally with an IV in her arm trying to fight people. Like, she has really went through the ringers with this surgery. So I'm sorry. I'm sad that this had to happen, and that this is still something she's still dealing with. This is crazy, but this will show y'all, stop getting that plastic surgery, especially the illegal silicone plastic surgery. You ladies, I get that's $29.99, but think of your life more. Listen, men don't care about you having no fat ass. They really don't. You can be as flat as an iron board like Stacey Rush over there. They still gonna try to talk to you and still gonna try to sleep with you. It don't matter. So if y'all doing it for men, y'all can stop that, because I don't know what other reason y'all would want to do that for. I'm just saying. But Mrs. Best, how do you feel about K Michelle's last scene?
I wish her the best. I think it's important to share stuff like this. I know some people online were saying they're tired of Kay. discussing this on show after show, but I think it's important. Plastic surgery culture is so popular right now, and I think it's crazy for people to touch their bodies, in my opinion, before you turn like at minimum 25 because you're not done developing. But I wish her the best.
Same here. We wish her the best. We giving her a hug in spirit because I hated to see her cry like that. And that she's still dealing with this. But best of luck to you, K Michelle. Let's, you know, it's a learning experience, and we hope that this will be the last surgery and that you're able to live on, a full abundance life. That's what we want for you. Yeah, 29.99. Yeah. I could. I wish I had the thing. I wish I would put it right here. Wait, did you say Stacy Rush? I'm weak. Yeah, Stacey Rush. Stacey ain't got no shape, no figure, just tall and just an ironing board, just long, just meh. And I know several men that still say I hit that. I would bring them on this camera right now, but they probably working right now. But I know plenty of them because she's beautiful. Men still look at beauty, ladies. I get body is important and body yada yada yada. I get we have all those songs, but men
My
still look at a
husband be
face.
saying that men care more about the face nine times
Yeah,
out of 10 than they do the rest of it. But
absolutely. That's why
you
I'm like,
know,
ladies, I don't understand this. If y'all can explain this to me, maybe I could understand, but I don't understand y'all. And I'm telling y'all, men only care about faces. They really do. They do not care about how big your titties is and how big your ass is. I know that we have old toxic ass uncles that used to, look at that shit. But I'm telling you, the men that really want you, care about your face card. So always keep it up. That's all I'm gonna say. Stacy's shaped like a chalkboard, but she's very beautiful. She's very beautiful. And that's why I said Stacy gonna always have her a man. Let me explain something to y'all. Stacy gonna have him, and it's gonna be that man who is the CEO and chairman of Audi German products and American as well. That man got all kind of money. I wouldn't go no fucking where either. So yes, straight as a pole. I mean, a tetherball pole, just long. But anyways, y'all, that's it. This is Real Housewives of Atlanta. We're gonna be on Mrs. Best channel at 5 p.m. Central Time to go over 90 Day Fiance before the 90 days. So we'll see you guys over on her channel in just a little bit. Thank you guys for being here once again. Like, comment, and subscribe. Shout out to my replay gang. Thank you, Mrs. Best, for being here. Thank you to everybody in the chat who showed up. I will see you guys on my next live, which will be this weekend. Have a great one, y'all. Bye-bye.